Hello, welcome to another video on the channel. This one is sticking with the Falklands theme. We're obviously in the period of the 40th anniversary of the war, so I thought I'd just keep in the Falklands vein. This video is on my 20mm terrain collection. That basically I've used, we'll go over the terrain tiles. I've showed you some little bits and bobs on them already. So initially we'll pop down to the bunker and we'll have a look at one of the tiles and the storage system that I've used. I mentioned a little while ago I found a unit in IKEA that I've eventually got sorted and it works really well, so we'll show you that. We'll then go on the turntable. I'll put some of the individual pieces on. Obviously the Falklands as an area isn't heavily built up. Apart from Port Stanley out in the field, they're just very small settlements, primarily at the time of the war, made corrugated iron and wood, quite basic structures. So that's what I've went for. One of them's I've scratch built some, and others I've used some of the Hornby 00 gauge Scaledale pre-built and painted railway buildings. However, I've talked them up a little bit, but you'll see when we'll get down to the turntable. So that's where we are, and we'll get on with it now. Right, so we're in the bunker here, and I mentioned a little while ago, I've got this unit from IKEA to store me terrain tiles. So what I've done is, see, I can open it up. There's loads of space for other tiles, but I've got them all in. They hold them. They're not stacked on top of each other, and it just protects them. There's obviously scope for putting further shelves in. You don't need such a big space. You might have noticed that some of them, this is how I originally painted them, with brown as a base of this flat earth colour. What I noticed when I was adding the terrain on top, when they put it together, you got a bit of a brown seam which sort of stood out. So what I'm in the process of doing is repainting the edges this green colour, which looks better. So the tiles themselves slide in okay. This is an example. This is one with a few rock features on. As I've said, the 50cm square MDF base with the blue foam, craft foam 5mm on the top, and you can basically sculpt them. So at the moment, that's what I've got. I've got 6 full tiles, and obviously, as you've already seen, the coastline tiles, which I've already showed you. Happy enough with the storage method. As I said, it protects them, which is what we wanted. Right, this is one you've seen before, Top Mallow House. I scratch built this a little while ago, basically using Will's fine cast corrugated plastic and some windows from their windows kit, using my standard basin on MDF. Right, this is one of the Hornby Scaledale 00 gauge Nissan huts. All I've basically done to it is toned it down a little bit, weathered it, again on my standard basin. Right, Hornby Scaledale again. All I did with this was repaint the walls, chimney, and then I used my standard weathering techniques, mainly with the Ammo MIG washes and weathering paints. Relatively straightforward to do. Right, and here's another scale deal building. Again, I think I redid the walls, tarted the doors and the barge boards up at the end of the roof, and used the weathering washers and paints. Added a little few bits and bobs. You can see a spade there and a ladder just to give a bit detail. Right, this is a Will's Finecast kit. I think it comes as a bike shed. So I've knocked it up, put a little trailer underneath it, just really for a line of sight blocker for the games. Weathered as standard with the normal basin. Right, we've got a couple of shots of the peat guttings that I've built, basically on MDF with the blue craft foam, cut into the hillside. I've added a few little details. You can see the spade there, and on the second one, which I've done, I've basically I think added a pick. This is just obviously to give some cover in the games. Terrain wise, the terrain's my normal method that I've used, so static grass, woodland scenic clump foliage. Right, this was something I did specifically for Goose Green. Some of the action took place around the fight for the schoolhouse at the latter stages of the battle, and there was some action in the playground. These are Fala HO scale plastic kits that I've tarted up and built. Right, this is a bit of a piece that I got from quite a famous photograph. It's a slide at the playground at Goose Green. The Argentinians had mounted a rocket launcher on top of the kids' slide. So that's what this is all about. Right, and this is a small animal enclosure that that I built. It's using HO gauge, basically standard model railway fencing on an MDF base with suitable terrain. Right, these are a couple of entrenchments. The all resin, can't remember what mate they are. I've got a feeling they might be the old Britannia ones. There's little bits of wriggly tin and rock and what have you. Painted up, and obviously my normal standard terrain. Right, and these are three artillery impact markers we use for the rule system. Resin, I think I picked these up from AB when they were available in the UK. Right, this is an example of one of the time cast Falklands rock formations. I've got a ton of these, really nice cast and resin. You can use them really from about 10mm up to 28mm. Painted, terrained, and that's about it.
Right, couple of civilian Land Rovers here. The one on the left, the green one, is an Oxford one, and the blue one is car armour. Basically based using my normal technique and given my standard sort of vehicle weathering to dirty them up. Right, these are some Falklands wildlife, useful as line of sight blockers. The sheep are Merit, I think, double gauge model railways, and the penguins are from the Prizer German range. They weren't actually painted, they're as they come out of the box and just based.
Right, so that's where we are 20mm Falklands terrain wise. As normal, if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It's worth doing that. It gives me an incentive to keep producing the videos, and also you'll get advance warning of when the videos are released. You can subscribe, as I've said before, a number of ways. You can do it from the main channel page, or you can hit the little button at the end of the video, which is the Empress 20mm Modern British Infantryman. Moving on, I've spoke to Alex and we're quite fancy doing another sort of after action report video of a game, so we'll possibly looking to do that maybe over the weekend, and I think that's probably in all likelihood what will be up next. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.